What's going on, fellow gamers? Lefty Lucy here, bringing you a quick video to show you my build for my Plum or my Maehwa on Black Desert Online. So this is just what's been working for me. There's actually a couple things that I recommend that you change with this build if you do run it. I'll show you what I'm running right now, and then I'll show you some recommendations, things that I would change. Keep in mind this build is good for pre-awakening, so if you don't have your awakening weapon yet, or if awakenings aren't out on your server, like on North America, this will work for you. And then also, there's a lot of content in this video, so if you're only interested in a small portion of the build video, make sure you check the bottom right for key topics and times within the video, so just jump ahead if you're only interested in a certain part. So let's get into it. So let's get started with my equipment. I'll show you what I have right now, and then I'll give you some recommendations on what I would change. So right now I'm running 182, 222 AP DP. I've got a Laverto blade plus 18 or try. I've got a white horn bow plus 18 or try. I've got duo armor. I've got 2-piece Terratas, the chest and the boots. This gives me the extra WP so I can dash around more often and use more abilities. I've got 2-piece Gruntle helmet and gloves. This gives me extra 5 AP, not character sheet, hidden AP. My jewelry, I've got pretty crappy jewelry right now. Pry blue corals for the earrings, cheap 5 AP belt. I've got the Pry blue coral ring, and then I've got this, whatever this ring is that you get from the Valencia story quest. I do have an ogre, which is nice. Too bad it's not Pry or duo though. But anyway, so a couple things that I would change. If you don't have Beg's gloves, or if you don't have your boss armor gloves yet, I would recommend running the accuracy offhand, especially for PvP. That accuracy is going to help you a lot. Also, the 2-piece Terratas, you're probably going to be better off with 4-piece Gruntle. It's going to give you a better transition over to boss armor whenever you start taking pieces of your gear away to replace it with boss armor. Plus, you get the 2 gem slots on each piece of equipment. So I do recommend that you get 4 pieces of Gruntle instead of 2-piece Gruntle and 2-piece Terratas. Obviously, you want some better jewelry. The cheaper route now is to get at least some Pry, but probably duo witches. Don't really worry about the whale earrings on the Maehwa. The HP is nice, but it really doesn't. We don't scale off of the HP like other classes do. I would get the tree belt if you can. Start Pry duoing that. Try and get a Pry or duo ogre ring, then you'll really be set. And then for the rings, the Mark of Shadows are really coming down in price. Get a Pry duo of those. Go try on the accessories if you can, if you got the balls, but I can't do that. Alright, so that's kind of temporary, but end game, what you want to have is you definitely want to have that Zaka weapon. You want to get boss armor, so you want to have, and if you have boss armor, if you've got Beg's gloves especially, then you can definitely switch over to the AP bow, which is what I'm running right now. I'm running this in anticipation of getting the boss armor gloves. So the boss armor, for those of you that don't know, that's going to be your Beg's gloves. Beg's gloves, these give you some accuracy. Then you've got the Hebed, however you spell that, the tree armor. You want to get the tree armor for your chest. Then you want the Giath's helmet for your headpiece, and then you want the Muskin shoes for your feet. So that's your end game gear. That's your boss armor. You want to get that, and then if you can, you want to get the Zaka weapon as well. Look at that one. 759. Let me just pull that out of my pocket. So real quick, I'll talk about my gems. I'll give you the philosophy. So what you want to have is you want to get that 5 crit rate and the 5 attack speed on the Maehwa. Those are the big things you want to aim for whenever you're building your Maehwa. So you want to put some gems in your gear, and you want to get some items that'll help you out with that crit rate and that attack speed. So if you've got the Laverto blade, that gives you 3 crit rate. I've got a crit rate +1 and attack speed +1 in the Laverto blade, and I pick up the rest of my attack speed on the gloves. So 2 of the attack speed +2 crystals. I've also got an AP, one of the really cheap AP crystals. I actually don't go very expensive on my crystals, as you can tell with these crystals. They're kind of the cheap versions. And I do that because I've been pretty annoyed with all the lag on the server. Usually when I'm grinding, I'll end up lagging, and I'll end up dying, and I'll losing crystals, and that's really starting to annoy me. So I've just got the cheap versions. You can definitely get the red battlefield versions of these crystals to get more powerful versions of the crystals. But these are the ones that I'm running. Make sure you get some knockdown bound resist. That's your most important resist, at least in my opinion. And then I've got the Cobb crystal on my chest to give me that extra HP. The weight limit's nice and whatever, but I really got it for the extra HP. And then I really like the ignore stun stiffness freezing resist, because stun stiffness is going to be very important for the Maehwa, because your combos are going to be alterations of, or your CC lock is going to be an alteration of stun and stiffness. Alternation? Is that a word? You're going to be alternating CCs with stun and stiffness. That's why I like that crystal. Again, you should have the Black Spirit crystal, but I'm cheap and I don't want to lose it to lag. So now let's talk abilities. So I'll scroll through it real quick, just if you're familiar with the abilities and you want to see what I run. I'll scroll through this just so you can take a look at what I've got real quick. But here right now in a second, I'll actually talk about each item. So here's your light attack, your left click, slice, really good. You get all this for free, and this one you get for free. So maxed out for free. And then deep slice, you can get this. I really don't recommend it for the skill points though, because it really doesn't seem like that much bleed damage. So I've always avoided it. Then retaliation stance and retaliation. This is your block, and then you can use you have a counter right here with retaliation, which goes off automatically if you block something. I use this. It's very important for the CC in PvP. I actually didn't invest any of the points because all I really care about is that I actually have the CC. So skill points are more valuable than that, I think, in my opinion. So divider, I actually used this while I was leveling up, but I kind of dropped it because it's nice for a heal, I guess, but Nemesis Slash is a lot better. So I use Nemesis Slash now for a big fat heal. Blind Thrust, which actually follows into Nemesis Slash, really good ability. Gives a stiffness, also increases your crit rate and decreases your target's accuracy. Very, very good ability. I use this one all the time. Backstep Slash, I don't actually use this one very much. I unlocked it anticipating that I would incorporate it into a combo. It's still a really nice ability, but I just don't find myself using it very much. Definitely get the Maehwa's Will maxed out all the way so you can heal more WP. Definitely get the Chase Ultimate so that you can do the WW animation cancel and chase really, really quickly. The Whirlwind Cut is nice as an ability, but again, it's one of those abilities where I don't think it's worth the skill points to max it out. Carver, again, same story. Actually, I don't even really use it during PvP. During PvE, it's alright because I can use it to knock my enemies up in the air and then cancel into a blooming. But in PvP, I don't even really use it, so I just left it alone. The kicks, I left those entirely alone. This is where it gets juicy, though. The decap right here, decapitation, very good skill. High damage, does a stun, very integral in your stun lock combo. You don't have to get the ultimate, although it does more damage. It is a very high skill cost, so if you don't have a lot of skill points, you can wait. I actually just recently got this one because I started getting some good skill points. The Lunar Slash combo right here starts off with Dragon Bite. Dragon Bite's a fantastic ability, gap closer, stiffness, and then Dragon Claw chains into Lunar Slash. This is one of my favorite combos, does a lot of damage, starts with a stiffness with the Dragon Bite and ends with a floating on the Lunar Slash. Very good. I use that in my primary combo. Red Moon, fantastic. You probably already have this one maxed out because it looks really cool and it does a lot of damage. Make sure you get Ascension to Heaven to add that extra damage with the Whirlwind. I personally don't have the Chaos Red Moon. Doesn't seem like it's worth it for the skill points. Blooming right here, fantastic stun, especially if you get the Phantom. Make sure you get the Phantom. Really good stun, decreases your enemy's MP, which can really put them in a bind. Just a fantastic ability. You can cast it faster with animation canceling using Chase or Carver, but I recommend using Chase. I was using Cyclone Slash for a little bit, but I found myself, instead of really using that one as a CC, I don't particularly like to start off with floating. You really want to start with a stiffness, like a Stub Arrow. This is really how I start my combos. So you can get Stub Arrow, and then you definitely want to get at least double shot. You can get triple shot. So you want at least two of these. Get Stub Arrow and one of these others. These are on different cooldowns here. So you can start a stiffness with a Stub Arrow. If you miss, then you can try a double shot or a triple shot because they're on different cooldowns. I didn't mess with any of the other bow abilities. They didn't look very appealing to me. Definitely get this to nullify your target's stiffness resist. Very important. And then your sword training, max this out. Attack power makes you stronger. Melee evasion for maneuver training, max that out. Make sure you max this out because that extra HP is really nice. And then the extra accuracy as well, very important. You don't have to get this skilled hunter stuff. It just makes grinding a little bit easier. This stuff you get for free. This is your V, and then your Z and your X. This Z is fantastic. It gives you a 25% increase in your attack speed, so you can really bring the pain with this Z. So taking a look at my skill awakenings, I picked these skills just based on my primary PvP combo, my stun lock combo. So I've got Decapitation, Dragon Bite, and Blooming awakened. And the big thing that I like to have is attack speed. So on all three of these I got attack speeds. There's 10% for 5 seconds on Decap, there's 7% for 5 seconds on Dragon Bite, 7% for 5 seconds on Blooming. And then I like the PvP attack, the extra PvP damage. So I've got 15 on Blooming. I've got 5 on Decap, and then for Dragon Bite, I went with the crit rate just to throw my crit rate way over the edge. So again, I just picked these based on my PvP combo, which I'll show you here in a second, and you'll see that I tried to pick these so that I'll have the attack speed buff at all times during my PvP combo. Alright, so let's take a look at my primary PvP combo. There's a couple different ways to run this, but here's the rotation that I like. I'll show it to you in normal speed first, and then we'll talk over it slow afterwards, and I'll explain what I'm doing. This is a warrior with 238 DP. The basic idea is to alternate stiffness and stuns until you get them into a knockdown, and then you do your DPS. knockdown or float. So let's look at it slower. This is, we're going to start this off with a Z. Get that extra attack speed just in case they dodge one of your CCs. Start off with a stiffness from stub arrow. Dash cancel into a blooming for a stun. Get behind him for more DPS. Blind thrust, stiffness. Decapitation, stun. Dragon bite, stiffness into lunar slash. That should knock him up. That should float him, but it didn't. So it's a good thing I have Z on so I can knock him down with the red moon and then finish him off with the ascension to heaven. So that's the full combo. You see exactly why you use the Z sometimes, because they'll evade your CC. But you want to keep them locked down. That combo will keep them locked down the whole time unless you get really unlucky with their CC resists. So that's it for the build video, guys. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you got something useful out of it. I do live stream this game. Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays is when I usually stream. You can find my social media info here. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff if you enjoyed. And I'm done, guys. I'll catch you later.